The next video today, which is really exciting, here are essentially 12 side hustles anyone can start doing today to essentially make more money, which is really important. I talked about it in the past videos. I talk about it again, is that I feel like becoming a millionaire, or especially as a multimillionaire, is sort of like becoming quickly the new middle class, and making $100,000 or a few $100,000 a year, in my opinion, is quickly becoming poverty. And especially when you're looking at the state of the world in economic terms, when you're looking at inflation rates, when you're looking at debt different governments have, and how, you know, obviously they have to increase taxes for the taxpayers in order to kind of like fill up those sort of like bottoms again that need to be filled up. I don't want to go into this too much in this video. I really wanted to give you guys sort of like some side hustle ideas so you can start today and you can start taking control over your financial and professional future, in a sense. Because if you are doing side hustles that you're controlling yourself, there's no one out there that can close a department and fire you, because you can always pivot and shift real quick and then sort of like continue making money the moment that you understand how this works. Especially when we're talking about the online world, you can keep doing it over and over and over again. Okay, by the way, I have another one that I'm going to link here with side hustle sort of ideas that you can do, how to make money online. This one I wanted to give you sort of a wide variety as well, just to kind of like get you started right away, right? So it's something that might be sometimes really easy as well. So those are like sort of all kinds of ideas that you can do from what I know throughout the world. So the first one is that you can, and I'm looking at my list right now, you can start by becoming a mentor. And that's something that I sort of started out with as well. I started out with then as a marketing mentor. Once I figured out the marketing from my previous company that I sold and I knew how to do it, and I knew funnel marketing, then I sort of like, my first client was actually like a coaching or mentorship client. I didn't have like a service offer yet, but it was sort of to just really kind of give him advice and kind of go from there. So that's essentially something that you can do, especially if you have sort of like a cool professional experience and something you need that you know, but you can really become a mentor like today, and you can start charging money today for that. The next thing is, obviously you can become a driver, right? Like Uber has been around, Lyft, that kind of stuff. But also I feel like when you're in Europe, I actually met someone the other day at like a networking party, and he essentially gives rides to friends, and he's just like charging for that. And he's just like kind of made it super fun. He's creating games within the car, and so he helps friends carpool together and then just charging for the ride for that. So it's just like really creative ways to kind of like start making money as well. Now another thing is, of course, website design, any kind of design, logo design. I think especially with Canva, and like I'm personally a huge fan. Melanie, you rock. Canva is really amazing because I just wanted to say that it allows you to charge for different designs that you can make, where you have help for those designs as well, right? And you can get help for making those designs. For website designs as well, you can charge several $1,000s or euros or francs, and it's really super easy to sell those services as well. You can essentially like just land a client off of Craigslist, you can land a client off of LinkedIn or from Facebook groups, and start making money that way. The same obviously for graphic design, for logo design. So those are quite a few. Another thing you can do is tutoring. Tutoring is a big one. I kind of like started out with this as well when I was still in college in America, because I'm bilingual in German and in English. That was always like really nicely, right? A side income to tutor or to do even translation work as well. So that's like another one. Now let's move on. Babysitting, big one, works really well here in Switzerland, by the way, as well. Great way to do a side income. The average babysitter here, from what I learned and what I found out about it, they charge between 10 and 15 francs an hour. And then obviously if you accrue some sort of background and you kind of like more moving towards becoming a nanny, right? You can even charge 25 francs to 45 francs an hour, depending on your experience or whatever not. Another thing that brings me to it is you can do house cleaning services, right? House cleaning, there's nothing obviously wrong with that at all. Some people, I don't know, have like a false preconception of that, but I think house cleaning services is a very helpful work to do. And like I know that our house cleaner, she's charging 38 francs an hour. So depending where you are as well, that's a great way to just like create a side hustle and start making more money today, which will allow you obviously to further invest that money into creating skills later on as well. So another thing is cooking, right? I had a friend of mine in California. She loved to cook. She had a professional chef background, but then she didn't want to work in a kitchen. And so she started offering meal prep services to people who were just too busy to cook. It's really interesting because a lot of people that I know as well, that do have maybe corporate jobs, the mom and the dad, they're both working, they're too busy to cook, to clean, whatever it is. So if you can help fill those needs in supporting someone like that or supporting a family like that, that would be amazing. And that's a great side hustle to do. And people are really, really thankful for actually really helping them in that sense. Personal training, if you're into fitness and you can teach someone to achieve a certain transformation, like for instance, for me, if you are a mom, I went to someone here in Switzerland that started having a background or was really knowledgeable about helping people overcome the diastasis recti. It's not necessarily like she had a super specific certifications. I don't even know there are certifications or things so that you can get for helping or for training postpartum women, like in terms of overcoming your diastasis recti. Yes, they're physical therapists, but there's also a few physical therapists that I went to that didn't even know sort of like what really helped against the diastasis recti. I had to sort of like ask around. So with that being said though, like if you are sort of a personal trainer, and depending on of course the country you live, there might be certifications that you need to be doing. However, I can guarantee you, if you're for instance advertising this in a Facebook group, right? Like I said, again, I'm part of a Facebook groups of like immigrant moms here in Switzerland. We're all kind of English speaking. It's an English speaking group. Whenever someone offers yoga classes for moms or whatever it might be, or like I said, the one with the diastasis recti trainer that did app work specifically for that, then it's really, really great because like you can make like money right away in holding or hosting a group class like that, right? Yeah, obviously a dog walker, that's like a big one, or even like a dog sitter when someone goes on vacation. It's always something that people ask for. I see it being asked in WhatsApp groups all the time that I'm a part of as well. People really, really need help with that, especially when you're going on work trips or whatever, and they really have no one to sit their dog for, especially when they're immigrants or expats. People really need help with that. So I think it's just like really, really a great thing to do. Consulting, obviously you can consult on anything and everything. Recently I bought a course from a consultant. She didn't have any formal training at all, but she essentially helped parents with their toddlers' sleep habits and improving the toddler's sleep habits. So she really just specifically focused on that. She had great testimonials and reviews already, and she kind of got into that just by solving her own problem. So just that gives you an idea that you can literally really consult on everything, and consulting is great because you can go from $100 to $10,000 fairly quickly in a few months, depending on really also the transformation you help people achieve and the social proof you can get and all this kind of stuff. And these were like my 12 ideas right now on how you can essentially really, for anyone, right? Anyone out there, how can really start doing today, start making money today, start sort of advertising yourself today and start making a difference. And I think it's really important because once you have like that side hustle, you have that side income and you kind of growing beyond just covering your fixed cost, right? You can go ahead really and not only sort of like put this money into building up your savings accounts for like the next 6 to 12 months, because obviously we are, you know, in a recession, we are in the cycle right now. I talked about it in a different video, but you can really kind of go ahead and then use that money to further invest into skill sets to kind of go to somewhere else, to transform into something else, become someone else, right? That will allow you to further systematically increase your income, increase your skill set. And I think the important thing too is just to get started. So many people are overthinking this with a side hustle. For me, many of you guys like that know me already, you know my story, that I obviously started on Fiverr. I had a corporate job. I was super depressed. I didn't like my corporate job. I was grateful obviously that I got a corporate job out of college. I know how this might sound like right now, but it was still depressing. I looked at the people above me and my managers and VP, you know, of operations and the kind of stuff, and I realized that I didn't want to follow that trajectory. So what I did is simply I went ahead and I took, whenever I took a bathroom break, I extended it a little bit. I was still a really great, you know, employee, but I went to the bathroom breaks and I was sort of like trying to sell gigs on. First, I started out with translation work between German and English and German, and saw like how this works, how I can sell sort of like skill sets that I already had. And then I just went from there and I added on different skill sets, and I saw sort of the marketplace wanted something else, and then I kind of, you know, switched to something else. And it's just a really fluid kind of transition, right? And it's not a linear line. I wanted to tell you that, but it's important to obviously get started, because the moment you take kind of steps, the more you see sort of like the road, you see different environment around you, right? That kind of stuff. So I think that is just important. So that's been me. I hope this video was helpful to you. If it was, give it a thumbs up. Also, of course, if you like more content like that, hit that subscribe button, follow me along, follow our journey along, and let's sort of really go ahead and educate ourselves on finance, entrepreneurship, because I think I really, really, truly believe that entrepreneurship is the only way out of this rat race, is the only way out of a rat race. And also obviously being knowledgeable about finances, they both go together and they are harmonizing themselves together. That's why my channel is about that. Let's build generational wealth for our families. and I see you in the next video. Bye!